Today, I decided to draw some Moth Girls. This originally started off as a character design exercise in line art practice. Other than my arthropod video, I haven't really designed any anther characters lately. I also haven't liked my line art that much recently. It's easier to work without pen pressure, especially in animation, but in an illustration with things like clothing folds and more detail, it loses its appeal. I didn't film the cleanup sketch for two reasons. It took forever to hammer out these two's designs, and I initially didn't want this to be a video. I decided to record the line art when I realized talking about character design and style experimentation were two pretty good topics for an art channel. While the line art is still playing in the background, I figured it would be appropriate to start talking about the line art first. Before I actually start though, I think I should explain what pen pressure is to people who don't know what exactly I'm referring to. Pen pressure is a feature in digital art where the more pressure you put on your pen, the thicker your lines are. When you turn off this feature, you are working with no pen pressure, where your line is a uniform weight. This piece was practiced for line art with more pen pressure and variation. I think for someone who hasn't worked with pen pressure in a few years, this looks good. For the bigger, older moth, who I named Bale, it took about 50 minutes to get her lines done. The smaller, younger moth, named Maple, took shorter, it was only 30 minutes. I think Bale took longer because not only was she the first one I inked that's needing to get into the groove of working with pen pressure again, but she had her ribbons and frilly bits of her clothing that I needed to make sure looked good. By the time I got to Maple's simpler design, I was able to shave off 20 minutes. I think I'm actually in the minority of people who prefer no pen pressure. It's definitely easier to work without, especially in animation, but I just like how it looks on its own. Recently I decided I like pen pressure better for illustrations, but as someone who prefers animation with its cell shading and simplicity, I prefer no pen pressure. Although my lines before were thicker than I like, and I've shrunk that brush size since my last videos. Anyway, on to the actual character designs. Bale is a domestic silk moth, while Maple is a rosy maple moth. Fun fact, rosy maple moths get their signature pink and yellow colors from eating maple leaves. First off, neither of these moths have mouths, only eating as worms or caterpillars. But as I've said in my arthropod video, characters still need to be expressive and readable for me. For Bale, which is a Slavic name for white, I had the idea of a middle-aged woman who's very big and imposing. All the white in her design though, she looks much older. I wanted her main colors to be white with black acting as an accent color. Fur has a yellow tint, which gives off the feel of faded paper, again making her seem too old to be middle-aged, which also goes with the natural yellow in her segmented joints. I imagined Bale to be some sort of rich fashion designer, so I gave her white wine to look elegant and made her look like she's walking and talking with Maple. Too busy to stop and chat with an inspiring designer, but kind enough to give some helpful advice. I really enjoy how Bale's ribbons came out. I love her dress. It's frilly and fun, but still elegant and mature, which is exactly how I would pin down Bale's personality. I've recently decided to start making character boards where I will gather references for a character to help with the design process. I already had a very solid idea of what I wanted to do with Bale before I made her board, but this was not true for Maple. I knew I wanted Maple to be fashionable, so I pulled some reference pictures from Vogue's spring collection. But I think because I had such a weak understanding of Maple visually, I ended up copying the reference too much and changing it in unsavory ways. Maple's outfit being this shade of blue just didn't sit right with me, especially with that accent dark blue, and her transparent undershirt is unnecessary when her overwear covers up so much anyway. In retrospect, I would change Maple's outfit to a green or green-blue color and give her shorter sleeves to make her undershirt more prominent. I at least like her hair and arm fur being less round than Bale's but still looking soft. I also enjoy how I drew their wings in this artwork and make the abdomen function as a tail. All in all, I think this was a successful exercise. I don't know if I will make Maple and Bale actual characters, but if I did, Agatha would definitely be joining them in whatever world this is. Till next time.